Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shelby Sutter, a wealth advisor here at Hightower Las Vegas, and today I am chatting with my friend Mr. Bob Cleveland. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us today.
Of course, of course. So today, Bob and I are going to talk about an organization that he runs. He is the CEO of Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada. This organization is one that is very easy to feel passionate about because it feels very good. What they do for our local community, I think, is unmatched. I'll let you speak a little more about it. Bob, tell me how you landed at Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada.
After the housing crash, I got laid off from my construction job. I got picked up by City Center to finish building that out, and then obviously there was no construction jobs in town. I did not know what I was going to do. I was lucky enough to have a friend who knew somebody on the board of directors for Rebuilding Together, and Rebuilding Together was fixing to expand their services into more construction-oriented things, and they needed a project manager. They brought me on for like the first month was like a test run, but I knew after 2 weeks that that's where I wanted to spend the rest of my career, and that was 13 years ago.
Wow. Wow. So you definitely knew that Rebuilding Together is where you wanted to spend the rest of your career.
Yeah.
Safe to say you felt the call or a calling there?
Yeah, I've had some really good jobs in my life. I've made good money. I've taken care of my family, you know, building houses, bartending, playing sports, what have you. I've never made a difference in the community. And seeing that impact right out of the gate of, you know, some of the work that we did was just overwhelming for me. And that's one of the reasons we've grown so much too, because I want to help as many people as we possibly can. And it's just so satisfying to make that difference in the community.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about what that impact is. What does Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada actually do? What are they doing for people?
Our primary goal is to preserve affordable housing, and the most affordable house that you have is the one that you live in.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we do this across the whole country. There's 109 of us across the country. We're the second largest one. But we want to keep them in their home, in a safe and healthy home, as long as possible. And that looks like a lot of different things. We have fall prevention programs. We have safe at home programs. That's just basic fire safety. Critical home repair, which is our bread and butter. That's where we got started, all the way up to major home repair. And now we even build our own units and rent them out to provide affordable housing.
Wow, 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 wow. So the impact is large. Talk to me a little bit about why this matters to maybe people that don't need your services here in Southern Nevada.
Well, on the one hand, we're obviously doing a good thing. We're helping a low-income homeowner stay in their house in a safe and healthy home. But a lot of people don't care about that. They want to know the impact that has on them to help. So if we have a low-income homeowner who's living off of $20,000, $25,000 a year, which is normal for us, and their roof is leaking, it's not safe for them to live in that home. And they're also at risk of losing their homeowner's insurance. So if they have to be rehomed because they cannot live in that house anymore, the cost for taxpayers is $30,000 per person per year to rehome them. So if this married couple living in this house at 65 years old, let's say, if they have to go into assisted living or into senior apartments, number one, they're taking up another affordable housing unit.
Right.
They're losing that affordable housing unit. So that's 2 affordable housing units off the market.
Right.
And it's over a 10-year period, it's going to cost taxpayers about $600,000.
Wow.
Or we can spend $15,000 to $20,000 to replace the roof.
Wow.
And give them a safe and healthy home for another 15, 20 years, maybe 30 years.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. What other programs do you have to keep people in place, to keep people safe, for accessibility? And then talk to me a little bit about your demographic. Like, who do you serve primarily, right? Like you mentioned that income level, low income.
You have to be low income according to HUD, which for one person is about $50,000.
Okay. So
and
not really hard to meet that.
No, I mean, if you're a senior on Social Security, you're going to qualify pretty much.
Wow.
And that's, you have to be low income and a homeowner, and then you either have to be a senior, which is 60 or over, or a veteran, or disabled. And most of our clients are a combination.
Wow. Okay. So there's a great need. Tell me a little bit about the work you've already done in our community and the impact that it's had. Like, how many homes have you fixed? How many people have you kept in place?
We've helped over 12,000 homeowners over the last 31 years.
Wow.
And that number is growing exponentially now. When I took over, we were helping about 150 homeowners a year.
Wow.
This year we'll hit over 2,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
every house that we touch gets safe at home, was what we call it. And that's real basic stuff. It's fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, CO detectors, grab bars, real basic stuff, small repairs under $1,000. And that we do with our own team. And then our main program, though, is our critical home repair program. And that's between 500 and 600 clients. And that's replacing the roofs, replacing air conditioners. You know, that's literally life-saving in the summer here. Water heaters, plumbing systems, you know, anything that is critical to you living in your home, we'll replace.
Right. Well, and I can't imagine trying to live without air conditioning here in the summer months. We're regularly over 100. Like you said, it's critical. It's life-threatening.
We were lucky when COVID came through. We were able to take advantage of and get some extra funding. But when the governor mandated that we stay in our homes and not go to community centers and such, it really shined a spotlight on the vulnerable senior population. They would not have an air conditioner for 2 or 3 years, but they would go to the senior center during the day and just live with it because they couldn't afford a $15,000 air conditioner. But they would just go spend their days at the rec center or the senior center, what have you, and then at night go home, open up the windows, have a fan on, and do their best to stay cool. Well, now they had to stay home.
Right.
And we saw a lot of people's lives being put in jeopardy. And Clark County was the first one to step up and provide us with a very large grant. It was the largest one we'd ever had at that point. It was $600,000. And we spent it in 2 months.
Wow.
Just doing almost all air conditioners.
That's amazing. And then we talked a little bit off camera about air conditioners, what they cost, how not having one here is life-threatening. Talk to me a little bit about your partnership and how you get the most bang for your buck, so that we can encourage all of the great folks at home to write you some checks.
Our partners are what make us go. So we want to stretch every single dollar that we can. So like the Safe at Home program, all of our smoke detectors come from the Red Cross. They donate them to us. Lowe's gives us incredible discounts. They're a national partner on our grab bars. First Alert helps us out with our CO detectors. Next Gen is a local fire suppression company. They hook us up with fire extinguishers every year. It takes a village to do all this. We have, if you were to go out and had a rooftop all package unit needed to be replaced, it's going to cost you between $12,000 and $18,000 depending on how big it is.
Right.
We pay between $6,000 and $7,000 because of our partners.
That's awesome.
And I mean, they get a tax write-off, but we get to stretch our dollars and help more and more people.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. When I was looking at your website, I saw that you have many, many local partners. Renewal by Anderson, donating your windows, all the different partners that you have. It's amazing. Talk to me about how a business owner here locally could get involved and get their team involved.
There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can be like Credit One and write us a $300,000 check every year. We're not going to say no to that. We love that.
Right.
They really don't even ask for a lot.
Home repairs are expensive.
Yeah, they don't ask for a lot in return, and that helps us, get. Sometimes, if we're only allowed to spend so many government dollars on a house, and if it's a little bit more than that, we have to take it from private donations. So that way we can help more people. We have incredible volunteer days that are so impactful, and you can adopt a home for $15,000. You come out and you spend the day doing non-critical things, painting the house, doing xeriscaping outside, debris removal. Sometimes we'll remove 3 or 4 dumpsters worth of junk that is, it's an infestation problem.
It's accumulated over decades,
and we
right?
and it's a health issue, so we can help that. And but you bring a team of 25 people out or more, and it's a team building exercise. And the $15,000 donation pays for the critical repair that they've already had, and now we're doing this beautification stuff. And it impacts the neighborhood. It prevents neighborhood blight. And I love telling the story. I've never been on one of those where I haven't had a neighbor come over and, what are you guys doing? And then go back and start working on their own home. And
Right.
it's incredible. It brings the community together. And I think the most impactful thing is you get 6 or 7 hours together with the client, and you get to learn their story and how they came to be in this situation. I mean, these people don't want to be in this situation, but the market's just outgrown them, and they're living off of $20,000 in Social Security, and they own their house. They can't go anywhere else.
Well, and usually some unfortunate circumstances as well, right? Like we talked about veterans that may be struggling. We talked about people with disabilities that may be struggling. We talked a little bit earlier about how odd it is, because as a population, we look at this demographic and we say, oh, but they own a home. They don't need help.
Yeah. It's not puppies and babies. These people, they've owned their home and they've owned it for a while, and people just assume if you own a home that you can afford the repairs. And it's just not the case anymore. I mean, just since I've been at Rebuilding Together, air conditioners costs have tripled.
Wow.
So.
Wow. That's appalling. Oh. I mean, we definitely have an affordability crisis. For me, when I sit across from people like you, I'm just so glad that you're a part of our community and that you're doing the work and that you're making us aware of it, right? And that you came to share and talk about how we can get involved. So let's talk about that a little more. I was looking at your website and I loved that there's a place just for contractors to reach out to you so that they could work for you and get paid, or they could donate their time, their services, lots of different options. And then, we talked a little bit about, writing the check always helps.
That's always the big one. But we've worked with Ryder Construction for over 30 years. I mean, they're one of our first contractors, and we still work with them. And they take 22% right off the top of the bill to make sure that we're taken care of. And we help them by providing them a lot of work, and they help us by making sure the work's affordable for us and helping us stretch our dollar. We've got some incredible air conditioning companies, like I told you. We've got some new roofing companies coming on, because roofing's getting a little hard to be competitive at. And then we have our other donors like Lowe's, like I said before, and First Alert, and Renewal by Anderson is helping us out. We're building our own fourplexes now, and Renewal by Anderson's installing some doors. Georgia Pacific is donating all the drywall. Ryan Mechanical's donating all the air conditioners. Cooper Roofing and Solar, I'm sorry, they're donating all the roofs and solar, so the residents won't have an electric bill.
This is so inspiring.
It takes, everybody just comes together, especially when it's a project that's going to house low-income veterans or low-income seniors, and we're just getting our toe into that part of the affordable housing business. We have a 3-plex out north that was our first one, and we have 3 disabled veterans living in one in each one.
Wow.
And it's close to the VA, it's close to a charter school. It's not where you see a municipality normally put affordable housing, which is something I think we do really well. We're not going to put them in the ghetto where they don't have a chance to move up. There's already no jobs, there's already no poor schooling, no transportation, poor medical. We put them in a nice neighborhood where they have a chance to succeed.
With resources and support.
We're doing the same thing in the city of Henderson. I know the city of North Las Vegas is going to be funding us again in February to purchase more property. And I know that the city of Henderson wants to do that as well. The state's also involved. Our first purchase was a piece of land in Henderson with state dollars. So it takes all of us coming together to do this. And it's out there now. COVID shined a spotlight on the affordable housing crisis, and it's a shortage of 121,000 units right now.
Wow.
We're not going to solve it by ourselves.
Right.
Our partners like Nevada Hand, they're a big player in this market. They're not going to solve it by themselves. We all have to do our part, and ours is a smaller part is for providing affordable housing, but every house that we preserve counts as 2. So we'll do 2,000 this year. That's 4,000 affordable housing units we're preserving, because we're keeping them in their house, and then they're not going into a senior apartment or assisted living.
Wow. And then talk to me a little bit about how you partner with the fire department and how you're keeping people safe.
We have a fall prevention program that is funded by the state of Nevada. They gave us a $3 million grant for this. And normally when a low-income senior falls, they go to the hospital, they go through whether they have surgery or not, and then they have inpatient rehab, outpatient rehab, home health when they get back home. It's about a $250,000 bill. Could be a range, but approximately $250,000. And then they go right back home into the home that they fell in. there's a 75% chance they will fall again in 1 year. So we took that data and we approached the state of Nevada to help us with a fall prevention program. And we now take an occupational therapist into these homes. And the occupational therapist says, pull the carpet out, put in hard flooring, motion lighting, grab bars, take out the tub, put in a roll-in. Whatever the OT tells us to do, we do. We've done almost 100 homes. We've had 0 repeat falls.
That's remarkable.
So we started partnering, and it was one of those obvious ideas that we didn't think of, but we recently started partnering with the fire department, Las Vegas Fire Department and Henderson Fire Department's coming on board now. They're calling us when they go out for falls. And they're low income, they're senior, they're on Social Security, what have you. They've fallen. We've been here 4 times this month.
Wow.
We get an application from them, and we get them in the process, and hopefully we can help as many of those people as we can too. At the end of the $3 million when the grant is expired, we're going to take all that data and partner with Toro and UNLV with their OT departments and their community health departments, and go out and try to get more money to do this, because that's taxpayer dollars again. Mm-hmm. These are low-income people. They're not paying their medical bill. The medical bill is paid by us. Mm-hmm.
We talked about the cost of
that.
Yeah,
so we want to reduce the burden on the taxpayer as much as we can. And again, the cost of these fall prevention jobs is between $35,000 and $40,000. So if we spend $40,000 but prevent a couple other falls that are $250,000 a piece, it's a cost benefit for the taxpayer,
for the community.
And it's a win for the client. Right. You know, they don't fall again. Mm-hmm. Their quality of life is better.
Right. Because a lot of these issues seem to have, you can deduce it down to how much discomfort is someone willing to put up with, and for how long, right? And sometimes these people just sit in these situations, and it's so sad. We had
one come across the desk, and I didn't look at it closely. I just forwarded it to our intake person, and I said, please reach out to all these people. Mm-hmm. And she said, okay. And then she called me back. She's like, well, there's only one person. There were so many calls from the fire department for one house. I assumed it was multiple people. And they had been like 17 times in a month. The person kept falling, but they didn't want a paramedic to come. They didn't want to go to the hospital because they couldn't afford anything. They couldn't afford the copays. They couldn't afford anything.
Wow.
So they don't want to go and get help.
Right.
So we want to see if we can prevent those falls from happening.
Yeah. And then do you know off of the top of your head what percentage of our population is aging, disabled?
Well, all of us.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what
it
portion
is growing. We have because it's a great place to retire because of the tax system. Our senior population is growing exponentially. Mm-hmm. I want to say it's like over 30%. Mm-hmm. It is over 60 now.
I was thinking,
and it's growing fast.
We had to have a pretty high number because of how people like to retire here.
It's us and Phoenix and some cities in Florida are the fastest growing senior populations in the country, but we are the fastest.
Okay, perfect. So that's what we needed to know. So big dilemma, affects us nationally here in Las Vegas, maybe more than it affects other municipalities. So what else can we do?
Get involved. You know, if 1,000 people see this and they all want to write $10 checks a month for the year, I think it comes out to $1.2 million. That used to be our entire budget.
Wow.
I mean, it's that simple. I mean, every dollar counts. We stretch every dollar. I think social return on investment is like $3 for every dollar we get.
And you stretch it really well. The way that you use all of your partners to get the best bang for your buck. I know they
take such good care of us. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, as a donor to all different organizations here, I love to see that. It makes me want to give more. So
we are this year. We just had our audit finished. 87% of every dollar goes directly to programs.
Here in Southern Nevada.
Every dollar stays here in Southern Nevada.
Wow.
Yeah, 13% goes to admin, keeping the lights on, fundraising, things like that, but 87% goes to the program.
And isn't the standard for organizations, if it's above 80, then you're
80 is your goal.
Yeah.
80 is your goal.
So 87 is great.
But there's so many they do good work that are in the 60s, but they still do good work. But we're proud of that number. We crept up just over 90 for a little bit once. Maybe we can try and get there again.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I will definitely be talking about you this holiday season when, people are asking me what I want for gifts, and I say just donate to this cause.
Oh, that means the world to us.
And we'll be putting this video out on social media as well, and you and your organization are free to share. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for educating us on this.
Thank you for helping us get the word out. It's important.
This is definitely an area that I think I didn't realize needed as much help as it does, but it makes so much sense economically, socially, for our community. Well, thank you, Bob.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.